Okay, so I was going through some of my old things today, and look what I found. I found my old edition of Grimm's Fairy Tales. Okay, I mean, they don't make books like this anymore. Check out the gold edging, whatever that's called. And so, if you want to get the kids in the room, sit them in front of the computer so they can hear a nice story. You should know me better than that. No, send the kids out of the room. Send them upstairs without dinner. Send them in the woods to gather berries or something, you know, like Hansel and Gretel's parents did, and look how well that turned out. Okay, so, like I was saying, this is one of the original copies of Grimm's Fairy Tales. Before Disney got hold of them, before they got whitewashed, before they were written for children. So if you have young ones in the room still, you have been warned. I think I have more than sufficiently warned you. Once upon a time, in the village of Liffenstiel, there was a little girl named Gruchella Ballerina Flabber Heimschel Slappen Klappenschlapp. Her last name was Horsenklen Liepen Schweigen Flausen Schlemmel Schlemm 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 Fisterbunder Wirkensloschen. The fourth. But her friends called her Little Red Riding Hood because she always wore a red cape everywhere she went. And even back then, that name was a mouthful. One day, Little Red Riding Hood was skipping through the forest with a basket of goodies for her grandmother. Tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la, when a little bird flew up to her, saying, "Little Red Riding Hood, Little Red Riding Hood, don't go to your grandmother's house. The big bad wolf's waiting there and he's going to rip off your blouse and grab your boobies." To which Little Red replied, "Oh, nonsense, little bird! Fly away! Fly and be free!" So he flew on his merry way and she went on her merry way. Tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. Next up, a little bunny rabbit hopped up to her. "Little Red Riding Hood, Little Red Riding Hood, don't go to your grandmother's house. The big bad wolf is waiting there, and he's going to rip off your blouse and grab your boobies." "Oh, piss off, little bunny!" And she kicked him right in the nads, and he went rolling down the hill, and she went merrily on her way. Tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. She finally reached her grandmother's house. Now, unknowns to Little Red Riding Hood, the big bad wolf was waiting there. He was in Granny's bed, wearing Granny's nightie, while Granny was locked in the closet. They were into some kinky stuff because the wolf and Granny had read 50 Shades of Grey one too many times. In fact, there are about 7 stories about the wolf and Granny practicing all the positions of the Kama Sutra. But that's too dark even for me, so we're not getting into that tonight. Maybe tomorrow. Little Red went into her grandmother's room and didn't realize that it was the wolf. "Why, Granny," she said, "what big ears you have." "The better to hear you with, my dear." "Why, Granny, what big eyes you have." "The better to see you with, my dear." "Why, Granny, what big hands you have." "The better to rip off your blouse and grab your boobies." Little Red stared the wolf down sternly. And then she said, "Oh, no, you don't. You're going to stick to the letter of the story, and you're going to eat me." And they all lived happily ever after. The end.